Hello, welcome back to this another video where we would be covering another short topic, which is the ninth topic, that is Indian service sector. So let us get right into it. Introduction. India's economic development has witnessed an early and distinctive shift towards services-led structural transformations diverging from the conventional sequence of agriculture, industry, services. In 24-25, the service sector contributed nearly 55% of GVA, while primary and secondary sectors accounted for 16% and 29% respectively. The service sector is heterogeneous in composition, encompassing services like IT, financial services, real estate, and professional services, alongside traditional activities like trade, hospitality, etc. History of service sector dominated by traditional services like postal service, railway, basic banking. Low contribution to GDP 28 to 30%, which is previously. Minimum modern services like tourism, okay. Presence of no modern services like IT. Limited financial services, transport and communication built for exploitation, very low employment share. But after independence, it completely changed the picture. The share of service sector was approximately 28% in 1950. Then it increased to 34% in this. However, during the last decade of 20th century, the share of service sector was over 44%, while that of industry lagged behind at 27%. RBI's report on currency and finance summed up the growth of the service sector as follows. Since the 1980s, growth process in India has been marked by a robust performance of service sector. While this is partially in line with the experience of developed countries, the Indian experience is somewhat unique in the sense that the sector's stellar growth phase of services sector accompanied almost stagnant or low growth phase of agriculture. The momentum continued till 1990s despite the sluggish industrial performance. The service sector thus provided a modicum of resilience to the overall growth of the economy, particularly in times of adverse agricultural shocks and industrial slowdown. Okay, so this was related to the service sector. Then we have jurisdiction of service sector in India. India has a quasi federal governance structure. Some services are under the jurisdiction of central government, and some are under the state government, and some are under the joint administration of both central and state. Then we have union list, state list, concurrent list. Okay. India's transition from agriculture to service-led economy. Agricultural growth refers to the transformation of a economy structure by reallocating resources from low productivity sectors to high productivity sectors. This process is essentially for achieving sustained economic development. The traditional path of structural transformation involves shift from agriculture. Yes. Reasons for this transition: higher productivity in services. Example: TCS, Infosys, Wipro transformed India into a global IT hub by offering high-value software and BPO services. Economic reforms of 1991, arrival of IBM, Accenture, HP after 1991 led to rapid growth in IT and ITES. Reduction of import duties. Okay. Human capital advantage, back office operations, knowledge-based industries. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Gurugram emerged as major global IT outsourcing hubs due to skilled engineering graduates. Urbanization and rising incomes. Yes. Slow growth in manufacturing. Then government focus on service driven sectors. Importance of service sector in India. Major share in national output, contributes to around 55% of GVA and up to 51% in 13-14. This makes service the largest contributor to India's economy. Employment generation also. Over the past 6 years, it has added approximately 40 million jobs. Share of total employment is 27% to around 30%. The sector thus acts as labor shock absorber. Foreign exchange contributor. Example: TCS, Wipro, HCL earn billions through contracts from the US and Europe. Enabler of urbanization, infrastructure and quality of life. Service fosters better living standards, supports cities, economies, and drive consumptions and investments. Then we have linkages and productivity spillover. Services increasingly support and add value to other sectors. For example, logistic, finance, redesign, R&D, business services, and digital services aid manufacturing, agriculture, and trade, raising overall productivity. Then we have stability and resilience. During the global economic disruptions, services, especially digitally deliverable and knowledge-based ones, have shown greater resilience compared to manufacturing or agriculture. For example, all digital sectors backed up the economy during the COVID pandemic. Challenges to service sector in India. Inadequate physical infrastructure. Weak transport and logistic cause delays and operational costs. India's logistic expenses are nearly 14% of GDP, which is almost twice of that of advanced economies. Digital infrastructure challenges. In 2019, a major data breach at IRCTC compromised personal data of millions of users. Skill gaps. According to World Bank, nearly 22% of the graduates are considered unemployable due to skill mismatches. Employment related issues. Rigid labor regulation, reduced hiring flexibility, taxation and compliance burden. Multiple taxes. Although GST was introduced, its practical implementation remains challenging. Domestic market pressure. Intense competition among numerous small and MSMEs restrict profitability. Lack of indigenous orientation. The Indian service sector often lacks distinct upstream and downstream linkages and does not always reflect local economic or cultural characteristics, making it appear as similar to foreign models. International competition. Yes, like H1B visa caps in the US make it harder for Indian IT firms to deploy skilled professionals on site. Then we have major services in India: trade, hotel, transport, storage, communication, and service related to banking, financial, insurance, real estate, and professional services, public administration, defense, and other services. We will on data service sector and current affairs. Okay, fine. So this was the majority of the thing for service sector. For service sector, we just need to remember the contribution of the service sector to India's economy and the major challenges that it has been facing. And I think that would be it. So thank you and stay tuned for the next video.